5-6, Mr. Jess Atkinson over early. Does his turn. Heads to the right side of the course. Get some leverage on the fleet. See how Jess does in our B fleet seating race here in San Diego. As everybody heads to the far shore, getting lifted. Boats tacking away. Crossing the fleet, 2-6. Mr. Chris Davidson, I believe. Local Aussie San Diegan. As we head up on our first windward leg here in San Diego, Yacht Pond, Region 8, IOM Championships, February 21st, 2025. How's that for a regatta title? It's Mr. Gary Whitten in the 5-4 boat out of Florida. New Viz, supporting the Croatian economy. In Gary Whitten fashion, he got a green boat, so you can keep them all straight. Gary, avid traveler, sails a lot of classes as they head to the beach. Tack up to the windward mark. Going to be low, going to have to do some other tacking as the port tackers come in from off screen. Gary tacks onto port. When you're in first, you can come into the mark any way you want. Small fleets, water levels down a little bit in the pond. If you want to give some money to fix the valve, the city of San Diego would love it. As Gary Whitten makes it around the offset first, followed by Mr. Davidson in the 2-6 boat in second. Jess Atkinson, Jess over early Atkinson in third place, didn't hurt him much. The 5-6, looks like a wood boat Jess is sailing. I'm not sure who built it or who the design is, but he's running that. As we head first downwind leg, Gary Whitten in the Viz out front. First, I believe Chris Davidson, the 2-6 boat second, Jess Atkinson third, 9-7 boat, not sure who's 9-7, but 4-3, Mr. Dennis Rogers out of San Diego in fifth. 4-8 boat, Mr. Tom Warren from San Diego, and Gil Jansky playing the sweeper role, making sure nobody gets left behind. So we head downwind, check in on Gary. Gary goes to the outside mark, tacks back. Chris comes to the inside mark, forces you to deal with the start line a little bit. Mr. Atkinson to the inside. As we head back upwind for the second time. So we watch Chris. Big boat sailor, translating some skills to little boats. As Gary Whitten out in front in clean air. Model sailing's easy if you get out front and don't let anybody pass you. Yeah, nice strong breeze, good direction here in San Diego. As Gary goes to cover the whole fleet. At 9-7, you're gonna have to tack for water soon.
Got attack, basic.
Some cooperative sailing. As Dennis Rogers tacks up the inside. Trying to claw back on Gary Whitten. This is a seating race. You always want to do the best you can. 3 fleets this weekend, A, B, and C fleet. This is Friday. As we watch our sailors sail up west, I believe. It's the direction of this lake. Prevailing wind out of the west here in San Diego, Model Pond. Boys in the 30s and the 40s knew that. That's why they plopped it here. Looks like they closed the gap on Gary a little bit. Been a couple boat lengths. As they round and head downwind. Gary Winton 5-4 out front. Chris Davidson in the 2-6. And the 9-7 boat in third. I'll have to find out that gentleman's name. As we head downwind. It's like Dennis Rogers is squeaking up into the mix here. You want to be top 3, I believe, in this seeding race to end up in A fleet. As we watch folks come downwind, check in on our leader, Gary Winton, where Chris Davidson has closed the gap to a couple boat lengths. 9-7 boat. We got Dennis Rogers and Jess Atkinson. Dennis in the 4-3 white Britpop. And Jess Atkinson, 56 Woody. And by 4-8, Mr. Tom Warren and Gil Somton Jansky still playing the sweeper. Come on, Gil. This isn't cycling. It's sailing. Got to get out front. Ooh, they split the gates. Let's see how this works out. Chris coming to the inside. Chris went to the inside. Gary went to the outside last time, so these guys are sticking to their habits. They think they know best. We'll see where they cross. Chris was a tiny bit, a couple boat lengths behind Gary on the way down. Chris on starboard getting lifted towards the finish line. But a little slow zone here. Chris tacks. As Gary on the outside. As we head towards the finish. Got Chris coming up the beach here. Watch Chris tack. Poetry in motion. Gets powered up and goes. He's on starboard, so those other boys got to keep clear, but looks like he's taking their transoms. Gary squeaked out a few more boat lengths on Chris. Although Gary going away from the start line, Chris going towards it. Not sure if Chris is going to get lifted all the way up there. Be interesting if he does. Chris heading towards that far end of the finish line. Looks like he's going to have to throw a tack in. Oh, 9-7 gets Gary Winton. Chris took a gamble. That would have been as the rest come in. Alright, looks like races, we're about 9.5 minutes right now for a 2-lap race in San Diego. Alright, A fleet seating race. As we head upwind, Friday, February 21st, sunny San Diego, California. As 5'9" boat. Looks like he's out front in the middle of the lake. Not sure who that is or what boat it is. Oh, it's Bill, I believe. Sorry, Bill, I forgot your last name. Got Jim Sears, Boy with a Dream, in the 7-4 boat. As we head upwind, Jimmy getting over here on starboard first. I'm going to show. Seems to always be a little lift there. Jim get back on the starboard. Everybody has to avoid him. Keep clear. Gary has to duck. Jim's below Bill. Give Lenny Bose some starboard love. This is Lenny and we're roommates, but you're gonna have to keep clear.
By the way, nice race, Gary. How's it going, well? I heard 97 dipshit. Who is that? Me. David Ryan. Oh, David, nice race. Good comeback.
As we get to the windward mark here. Always a little congested here in San Diego. Trying to get in here on starboard. Maybe we should design these lakes with a little pooch out, a little bailout area. A little more width where the windward mark is. Might be interesting. As Bill in the 5'9" boat out front. Followed by, I think it's Sean Bradley, one of our only East Coast contestants in the 4-6 boat. Britpop. As we head downwind, as Dr. Jim and Sean try to battle for inside position. You can each have inside guys, just go to different marks, but we like to race at all times. Gary Bowl out of Sun Valley, Idaho, in the 171. Got a white Britpop. Every time I see Gary, he's got a different color Britpop. He's got every color Britpop in the rainbow from Bowl Britpop Empire. Looks like Bill in the 5'9" is going to maybe lead this wire to wire. Sean and Jim split the marks. Gary goes the outside, the 171. Tech back early. Head up the middle. Head upwind. Bill and Sean doing some match racing here. As we head to the finish line. Sean, extra maneuvers cost Bill. Sean coming up the inside with Boy with a Dream, number 7-4, Jim Shears. Looks like gonna get up to second place. Guess you just want to be top 3 to be in A fleet. As we head upwind, Jim Sears, the 7-4 boat on the inside.
I kind of liked it when Dan was running up and down the lawn with his iPhone.
That's progress, Tom, progress.
I had to take Dramamine to watch your video.
Yeah, there's less motion sickness this way.
That is the art of video, you know.
Blair Witch Project.
I will take no,
Commentary was outstanding.
I will take no criticism on my art.
We were all going to pick up a collection and buy you a Steadicam. He kind of got that J.J. Abrams thing going where he likes to shake the camera.
A little bit of lens flare too.
I'm going to start doing this in actual film so I can develop it at night. Here we are, the A fleet. The heckling will continue.
shaking there. He grabs the camera and shaking it while they're filming the scene.
Will morale improves? So it looks like Sean, the 4.6 boat, has gotten out front. Boy with a Dream, the blue borrowed boat, is no longer borrowed. In second place, 7.4. As Interact. He was here this morning. Yeah. Well, it looks like Jim heading towards the pressure over here, going fast to the near side of the course in 7.4. Might be getting some gains on Sean. Jim got a puff, said I'm going to go with it. As we got a battle of East Coast versus West Coast going on. As we head downwind. Jim Sears, 4.6 Sedici, or 7.4 is a Sedici. 4.6, I believe, is Britpop. As they end up going both to the same mark. Coming to the inside. Bill in the 5.9 boat going to the outside. Gary Bowl in Decisionville decides to come to the inside. So come back upwind. Head in for a finish. In a battle of these top three. Bill started out in the lead. Looks like Sean's got it. Gary Bowl is on the bubble, trying to get back up so he can start out in A fleet. Always a good strategy, get in A fleet and stay there. Sean, the 4.6 boat, upwind. Jim Sears, the 5.4, heading towards the new Peninsula Point here at the pond. As we head back upwind. Good things are happening. Pressure builds, got good pressure here today in San Diego. Forecasts look a little iffy, but never believe a forecast. It gives us something to do when we're not sailing, to talk about the weather. Gary Bowl goes to the far shore, screaming in on port. Takes a big gamble over there. Let's see if it pays off to get his fourth spot. Chris Sullivan jamming up the middle. Looks like Sean got first. Jim Sears in second. Bill hanging on to third. Oh, Chris Sullivan just squeaks ahead of Gary Bowl. And probably a brief intermission while we reshuffle the fleets. That's 3 complete seating races. And we'll start over with C Fleet. Give you a little pan around what San Diego looks like. We all hang out here under the trees. Got a little DF95 clinic going on. Teaching new people to sail. Argonauts relentless finding new skippers. And we're off. Second B fleet race of the day. Wind is built a little bit. Water's still smooth. Always smooth in San Diego.
coming off the beach. 157. That's you, 11. Didn't do it. Damn it. Oh, come on. 157. Protest 11. 157.
Gonna protest.
Whoa,
162,
2-8.
protest 1.
2-8.
A little tough coming off the beach over there. Got shallow water.
I wanted to be on starboard, darn it.
As we head upwind, not sure if the kerfluffle got worked out. It's our second B Fleet race of the day, February 21st. As we head up to the windward mark, for the first time. Three fleets this weekend: A Fleet, B Fleet, C Fleet, 4 up, 4 down. HMS is a heat management system we use in model boating. So there's a constant shuffling of the fleets. Cream usually rising to the top. As we head downwind, we got Gary Bowl in the 171 white Britpop. Come down almost the middle of the lake, a little bit to the right side. 157, I believe, is George Pedrick on his hip. As we head down, screaming downwind in our A-rigs. Most people only have an A-rig in Southern California, because you never need the B-rig much unless you travel, which is pretty fun if you can make it happen. Get your travel rig together. Dennis Rogers in the 4-3 boat. Dennis was out in Corpus Christi, drove from Southern California to Texas, hired his brother to be his driver. Dennis sat back and listened to books on tape as they drove across the southern United States. With Gary Bowl making it to the outside gate first. George Pedrick, his old Richmond neighbor, coming to the inside. 157, Jess Atkinson, the 5-6 boat, saying wood. Wood is good. There's Woody here. Only Woody in the fleet. There's George and Jess tacked on to starboard. Head upwind. Dennis and Gary went to the outside, playing with their depth gauges, really as they tack away. As Gary manages to cover the fleet on port, stays out front, clean air, sailing his own race. Dennis Rogers in second. Looks like George Pedrick in third. Jess Atkinson fourth. Got Len Bowes in the 168 yellow boat. Matches his shorts and his hat. Len likes to be very color coordinated. There's Len's hat. There's Len's shorts. There's Len's boat. As he crosses Stefan Cohen, the Miami Vice boat, first appearance, the 2.8. As we head upwind. On the second lap, see where things rifle out. Gary doing a long ley line on port, which if you're out front works great. You don't have to figure out how to make it on starboard. Just go right to the mark, slam a turn, and go. Which Gary's a little low. Could have went a little longer. Gonna have to travel at some point on starboard. He does that. Looks like Jess Atkins snuck into second place. And the Wood is Good boat, 5.6. Followed by Mr. George Pedrick in 1.57, who packs up the van with Gene. Lots of boats came down from Marbleheads yesterday. Little impromptu Marblehead regatta here. It's Gary Bull trying to lead it wire to wire. Jess Atkins said, well, Gary, I'm going to give you some splinters as I go by in the 5.6 boat. George looking for the freeway to open over there, hanging out, waiting for a puff. Not sure if it's going to come. Dennis Rogers in the 4.3 and 4th. Stefan Cohen, aka Cropgate and Tubbs, 2.8 boat. Coming downwind, Chris Steiger, Chris in the 8.8 boat. Coming downwind, Chris Sullivan in the 6.2 boat. So we check back in on our leaders. But Gary's still out front. Gary went to the outside last time. Looks like he's eyeballing that outside gate this time. As he rounds her up, makes the turn. Heads back upwind. Tries to hold off the entire fleet. Jess getting in the point mode here in the 5.6. 5.6. Going for ultra point, ultra pinch. Tacks away. Work in the middle. See if he can claw some boat links back as George hits some waves. They'll cross no problem here. For second and third, we got Dennis Rogers working the beach in the 4.3 boat. Trying to work his way up. As Mr. Bowl in the B fleet, named after him. Looks like he's going to win this one handily. You just need top 3. So really the race here is between George and Dennis. As we head up, looks like George might be able to lay it on port. Dennis is going to have to tack onto starboard. But George will have to keep clear of Dennis. As Gary, using the whole race course, says, I'm going to go across the finish line on port. 171. George working his way up here. 157. Jess tacks towards the line. As Dennis gets that 4th spot. I think that's the bump up spot. So Chris gnashing of teeth Sullivan in 5th. Not getting bumped up. Get another fun play in B fleet. Steve Kinsey in the 11 boat. Came down from Canada. Good time of year. To head south on the globe. Get some extra warmth. And we're off. B Fleet, San Diego, IOM. had a wind. Steve Kinsey in the 1-1 boat, far shore, out in the lead, escorting out front. Didn't see where he started.
Storeroom 1-1.
As we tack away. Come up wind. Looks like we survived a kerfluffle on the shore. All right, I'm back on. Sorry, I hit the off button by mistake. As we head back upwind. Where's everybody at? Got Stefan Cohen coming to the near shore, followed by Len Bowes. Steve Kinsey out front, his Vickers boat. Got a little tune-up from Sean Fiddler. Looks like Steve wanted to round the finish line, but he's got to go to the windward mark. As it tacks on to starboard. It's hard to come in on starboard here. There's only a few lanes for that. So a lot of guys end up coming in on port. And there's a lot of lanes for that, but you got no rights. And it makes that first windward mark kind of tough while the boats are still together. Steve managing to keeping the lead. Stefan Cohen on his hip. Chris Davidson shooting to the inside here. Doing some jibing downwind. Trying to find some speed. Looking for speed. Got Sean in the 4-6 boat. Sean Bradley, not to be confused with Sean Fiddler. Sean's from Michigan. Other Sean's somewhere on the East Coast. Both skippers were down at Corpus Christi trying out their A, B, and C rigs. Some rules discussions go on. There's Chris Davidson squirting out front, local knowledge. Got the downwind speed over the Vickers. Not sure what's Chris is racing. 2.6. Chris might have carved that boat out of a 2x4 last night. It's pretty handy. Handy yachtsman. As Chris passes Steve on the downwind. Steve going to the outside, Chris to the inside. Boats gracefully head upwind. Steve Kinsey in the 1-1. Tacking on to port. A few boats off the beach on starboard. Cooperative sailing, what's good. It's more fun when you can win, not just punish you guys with the rules. It looks like this inside really paid. Chris Davidson, Sean, Barry Donner all getting in front of Mr. Kinsey. Serving him up a dish of local knowledge, maybe? I don't know. I've sailed here a bunch, still haven't figured it out. Chris Davidson. Looks like he's in the lead here. There's the wind. Shift star right. Got Stefan Cohen in the 2.8 boat, sneaking up on the inside. Else coming in on port over there. Not sure if you play the right, play the left, play the middle. What works and what doesn't. As Chris is on starboard, heading towards the windward mark. A little low, a little slow. Oh no, that's Sean. Sean got out in front of Chris, but Sean's got to throw a tack in. They're both squeaking to get around. It's like Sean first. It's like Mr. Jess Atkinson, a 56 boat. What is good? Those guys are messing around. Mr. Atkinson was hatching some plans to pass him, and that happens. Sometimes you get focused on the guy next to you, and you forget other people are in the race. So another lead change, third leader, Mr. Jess Atkinson, local skipper, 5'6" boat, sailmaker, recently retired to Vista within the last few years, Northern California. Jess also sails Marbleheads. But looks like maybe another lead
Yellow
chain.
boat, I'm on starboard.
As Mr. Sean. Bradley squirts out front for the third and fourth leader. Kind of says he's on starboard, but he's actually on port. Maybe he wasn't, but as we head back upwind for the last time, Sean, the 4'6" boat, heading towards that finish line. Some improper hailing going on here. As Sean covers fleet, and Mr. Chris Sullivan, who snuck in there in the 6'2" boat, looking for some magic. Got Mary Donaher in the 2'7" on the outside. Chris Davidson trying to cover the fleet. This upwind side. As you see, this last leg seems to be the hardest, at least for me. Get to that finish line first. Sean takes it all the way to the other shore. Says, I'm going to finish on port. Potentially Chris right on his hip. This is a B fleet race, so want to be top 4. That's all that really matters. So if you're in the top 4, you start screwing around, you can find yourself not promoting. So looks like Chris snuck in.
I think. I don't know.
Might have snuck in. Doesn't really matter. Top 4, but we all like to win. The bragging rights. Everybody comes in for the finish. Looks like Jess had some problems. Rifled him back. He was almost there. Well, I was a little late on the start button. This is a little B fleet do-over race. A little issue with the last race, but we'll sail on. As I guys started further down the line on that race. Sorry I didn't hit the record button.
Dennis, I gotta go.
Okay, I gotta go.
It's like Barry Donaher on the hard over there. Stayed on that starboard tack 1 second too long. As Fred leaps into rescue mode. As we head upwind into the setting sun on the San Diego Mall Yacht Pond. Chris Davidson tacks off the shore. As we come upwind for the first time, usual suspects at the front. We got Levin, Steve Kinsey out of Canada, 1-1. Dennis Rogers on his hip in the 4-3. Got Jess Atkinson sailing away. Hard to see the boats from this angle. As Barry is back underway from the Fred rescue. Hopefully we don't need to rescue Fred. Fred's now on the shore. As Steve in the 11 boat makes it windward mark first. That's Rogers in second. Jess Atkins 5-6. Is trying to do penalty turns, and Fallon hitting each other's on the penalty turns. Barry Donaher in clean air, but last place, unfortunately. It's tough when you run your boat aground over there. Hard to make that up from these top skippers. Nobody gives you an inch. Steve heads downwind quickly. Keep him in the frame. Got Jess Atkins, 5-6 boat, second. Stefan Cohen in the 2-8 boat. Wow. 3 guys, 3 wide for that 3rd, 4th, and 5th spot. As we head downwind, sizing up the leeward gate. Steve looks like he's heading to the inside. Looking the right side of the course. I go back through the fleet. Oh no. 20 bows tries to avoid. And always aim for the transom. Unfortunately, these upwind downwind situations are tough. As Jess and Steve battle it out, tack offshore. Steve Kinsey in the 1-1 boat out front. Jess Atkins, 5-6. Second, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Oh, Gary, you okay?
Didn't see it.
Pole claims another victim, even though I was standing right next to it. Gary teaching himself a little physics lesson. It's like Jess might have squeaked into some match racing going on between Steve and Jess. As they head back upwind. But maybe they're messing around. Crossing the fleet has allowed others to sneak in. See Dennis Rogers clawing his way up there. As I think Dennis is going to get there first, so Dennis will quietly eating up some boat lengths. Jess in second, Steve in third. As we head downwind. Mr. Atkinson looks for a place to do a penalty turn. Lost a lot of low boat lengths there. That's a bummer. like he's still doing turns, maybe 2 fouls. Unfortunate, because wood is good. Was in the hunt on that race. Benefactors. Dennis Rogers out front. Steve Kinsey getting a puff, catching back up. Sean in 4-6 boat. Heading back downwind. Got Gary Bowl in fourth spot, even after taking out the pole. Taking out the pole like a champ. The champion he is. As Dennis comes the inside, Steve follows him, says, I'm not going to win it at the mark here. We'll battle it out on this last leg of the course. Sean heads upwind, Jess avoids. As they're spread across the course 4 wide. I think Dennis got the upper hand here, being more to windward than everybody. Yep, pole, watch out. Lots of hazards here at San Diego. See if Dennis can hold on to it here. I have to throw a couple tacks in, heading back towards the middle of the course. Dennis on starboard, eyeballing that far end of the line. The lift gods are lifting him. Got Steve, Kinsey, and Stefan on the outside. Steve in the 1-1, blue boat. Stefan, 28, Miami Vice. Yeah, as we head back upwind, looks like Dennis Rogers gets it. The boat's spread out on the line. Not a room. This year's Boy of the Dream. Committee boat in, tacks early. Get some leverage on the fleet. Bill, 5'9" boat, leads the charge. Far end of the shore. This guy's tack off the beach. Some orderly mayhem. Guys attacked early, now crossing the fleet on starboard, forcing some other tacks. Those are tacking tactics for you keeping track at home. Tacking Tactics of Trickery handbook will be on sale soon at tackingtacticstrickery.com. And how to dominate model boat sailing. Be on sale soon. Not sure who's going to write it, but better go out and get that website now. That's Bill. He's over to the right here, tacking up wind. As Jim tacks on to starboard to force some extra maneuvering from his competitors. Sean Fiddler in the 111 V11. That's really a V12 boat. But if you had 111 and you had a V11, That would be interesting. Looks like Jim gets there first. So Jim's early tack, work the right shore, show your competitor some starboard love, gets you to the windward mark first. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's Dave in the 9th, Dave I believe. Sorry Dave, I don't know your last name, in the 9-7 boat. Figured out how to get there first, so I retract all those derogatory statements I said about Jim, and reserve to use those jokes at a later date. So the 9-7 boat, Dave I believe, David, I'll look it up. Sheet out front, Dennis Rogers in the 4-3 boat. Sean Bradley in the 4-6 boat. There's Dr. Jim in the 7-4. Sedici, predecessor to the Vente, for those Italians keeping track at home. Looks like we got George Pedrick trying out the freeway, the 157 over there. Nobody's been hugging that shore much. Let's go this regatta. As we head downwind, Dave to the windward mark first, the leeward mark first, leeward gate first. Dennis goes the inside. Dave throwing an extra tack in there. Dennis tacks off the beach in the 4-3 boat. Looks like he's still going to be behind Dave. As we head upwind, I got to find some energy. I'm losing energy. As we head upwind into the shine, as Jim, the 74 boat, gets headed a little bit, decides to take the tack, takes the bait here, San Diego, home of the false header. As we tack up the beach side. Like Dave and the 9-7 boat still out front. So we head to the windward mark for the second time. All right. Looks like Dave in the 9-7 still out front. Dennis Rogers in the 4-3. Second place. We go back. Sean Bradley in the 4-6. Got Larry Grant making bottle sailing great again, doing his pedally turn. As we head back downwind, Jim Sears in the 7-4 boat. They're on Larry's hip. It's like George Pedrick in the 157 in 4th, so that's where you want to be, 4 better. Although this is A fleet, so you just want to win this one. No bump up from A fleet. Maybe A prime later on. As the rest of the fleet comes down, let's check back in on our leaders. Dave and the 9-7 boat, see if he goes outside again. When you're in the lead, Dave looks like he goes to the inside on the finishing leg. As we head back upwind. Just gonna reach up the beach. Reaching up the beach. Maybe lay the finish line. Will be crazy if that happens. No tacking. So 9-7 out front. Came the inside here. Let's see if we can make the finish line on one tack. Against Rogers in second. Sean Bradley in third. George Pedrick in the 157. Sean Fiddler in the 111. Sean only wanted to buy one stencil for his boat. Looks like a barcode, Sean. You got the one so close together. Maybe we should scan it, see what it comes up with. That was Dave out front. He didn't make it all the way on one tack. Tack back. He's on starboard. Heading towards the finish line. Dennis Rogers here in second. Battle for third and fourth with Sean and George. Sean and Jim still mixing it up over there. As Jim ducks Sean. Sean in the barcode boat, 111. Stefan Cohen in the 28. Following Jim around. Got 9-7 for first. Dennis Rogers in second. Race is right at the 9-minute mark. Still hanging in there. And we're off. George Pedrick with a little dip start there. Floated above the line, dropped down, went. Kept everybody moving, good spread out on the line. For Alpha. Number 88, Chris Steiger working the beach. Working the beach hard. Gets onto starboard. Crossing a lot of the fleet. Some of the fleet crossing him. On port. Pretty picture as we go upwind. As we come off the beach, heading up the first leg. This A-Fleet race. Winner takes all. No promotion out of A-Fleet, only demotion, so you don't want to be bottom floor. On A-Fleet, heading up into the glare. I'm not sure how it's going to look on your computer screen. Jim Sears in 74 boat. Come up, Jimmy. Come up, Jimmy. You're off the wind. Going slow. Keep coming up. There you go. As we head up to the windward mark. Far beach. It's a big slog coming back. As boats tack on starboard. Cordial sailing in A-Fleet. Nobody slamming it in on port. Going around on starboard. Got a close offset here. 9-7, David out front. Followed by Mr. Sean Fiddler in the barcode boat, 111. V12. Vickers, Sean got a boat for every occasion. And I got Dennis Rogers in the 4-3 boat. Pat and Evan back there calling this B fleet when it's really A fleet. Let's see, Mr. Chris Sullivan put the hurt on me last race in the B fleet to get up to A. Nice job, Chris. The 62. Sean Bradley in the 46 boat, followed by the rest of the fleet. Let's check back in with the leaders. Got Mr. Dave in the 9-7 boat. Going downwind on starboard. Sean Fiddler having to make some decisions here. Sean's going inside. Second place. Dave tacks pretty immediately to cover. Sean on starboard. Just taking Dave's transom. As we sail back through the fleet, try to do that on starboard because things get rough. Looks like they make it through fairly unscathed. Dennis Rogers tries to get some leverage on the leaders. So got a pack of 3. Dave in the 9-7. Sean in the 111 barcode special. Dennis Rogers in the OG Britpop. I think hole number 1.
Surrounded by Ventis.
Isn't Dennis in a Britpop?
Oh.
Sean's taking inventory of boats when he's in second place. As we head into the glare for the second time, the stumbling continues here. San Diego, rough footing. As Dave's still out front, Sean in second. Dennis Rogers in the 4-3 and third. Chris in the 8-8 boat in fourth. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, you're anybody's guess. They're all lined up, doing some synchronized tacking into the slows. As Sean Bradley rockets up on port, gets himself into 4th place as everybody's out of phase with the shift. Sean definitely took advantage of that. So here in San Diego, up to the windward mark for the second time. Zoom in so you guys can see my teeny tiny wind finder. Dave going wire to wire. Sean right on his tail though. Can't count Sean out. Sean, great tactician, great sailor. Helps a lot of folks out, tuning their boats, answering questions, a lot of knowledge. Many years, big boat sailing. He loves the scow. Loves to sail the scow. So buy Sean a beer, he'll tell you the scow, history of the scow in the Midwest. Sean also competes in full-size gliders. So if you ever stumble upon a YouTube video of the World Championship glider competition, you might see Sean Fiddler there. So anything aeronautics, going fast, Sean's your man. And Dennis Rogers in the 4-3 boat in third. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, still anybody's crapshoot. I thought Sean in a 4-6 boat made some gains. He did. He's going fast downwind. As I struggle with my ultra super zoom to keep the boats in frame. That makes it a little more interesting. You can see them. Let's check back in on the winners. So it looks like the same story. Dave in front in the 9-7 boat. Sean says, eat some dirty air, Dave. I'm going to slow you down. I'm gonna rocket out of this leeward gate, try to pass you. Sean decides to split them. Sean comes to the inside, Dave to the outside. Takes Sean a little longer to get there, but maybe a little height on this course. Sean tacks 111. Gets in the right phase of these shifts. This boy with a dream, bringing up the rear. Jimmy, what's going on? 7-4 boat. As Sean and Dave exchange phone numbers. Still same story. Dave out front, the 9-7 boat. And Sean, the 111. Play in the middle. Sean's in the middle of the course. Ready for any shift. Dave comes way to the right. Sean, a little luff, a little pump, a little luff, a little pump. Still taking the stern, the 9-7 boat. As Sean's going to get the height. See if he can make the cross on, get to the line on starboard. As he might do it. Might do it here. Might take care of Dave. There's a little shift. Dave is definitely low. Sean is high. Sean can come up. Dennis is pointing good. There you go, Sean. Looks like Sean's going to get it. Nice sailing, Sean. Hopefully you can hear Freddie calling finish. All right, Sea Fleet race today. Note this moment in history. This day of February 21st, 2025, when I get to film a Sea Fleet race because I'm not racing in it. So, made it to B and stayed there. So hopefully that trend will continue. But I guess one data point is not a trend. So, let's see if I can stay in there. Pull, pull, pull.
Thanks.
I'm the public service announcement. Didn't mean to startle you though. As we head upwind. The Sea Fleet race got a gaggle of three here. 59 Bill in the Somtan. Bill says Somtan, some can't. In his Somtam as he heads upwind. Bill had some moments of brilliance earlier. He's on starboard. Says I'm not attacking. You guys avoid me. As we get into the sluggies. A little bit of sluggishness here. As we head upwind. As Gary went in the 5-4 boat in the Viz. Looks like he's closest to the windward mark. These are getting soft. Softer. like the Viz first to the windward mark. Gary Winton, Gary Road Warrior Winton, 5'4" boat, followed by another boat. I can't see it. It's like the 11 boat is Steve Kinsey. As we head downwind, looks like a yellow boat. Maybe Mr. Len Bowes out there in third. Trying to be top 4 to bump up. As Gary Boom Boom Bowl hit the pole earlier. He's looking for some magic. See if he can go to C to B to A. Oh, excuse me. A little cough there as Mr. Winton's off the front. 5'4" Viz. Eeh. Dan, get the zoom right. Gary in the 5'4". Another green boat out there. I guess green boats are fast today. That's Mr. Jason Brooks. The 06 Brazilian Britpop Steve Landau. Who else do we have? Mr. Tom Warren in the 4'8" blue boat. K2. Gary Bowl in the white Britpop 171. Steve Kinsey, Vickers boat in the 1-1. Getting rolled by the Croatian crusher Len Bowes in the K2. And Gil Jansky in another some tan, some can't. Orange boat there. As Mr. Winton caps the fleet. Goes to the inside in this softening wind. As everybody's staying pretty tight together. So I got a wobble there. I look at the screen, I look at the boat. Sometimes I forget I'm filming. I get caught up in the racing. As got upwind for the second time. Check in with our leaders. Gary Winton in the 5'4", looking to bump up the B fleet. Come beat up on me. We got Bill Daniels? Bill Daniels, guessing at names here. The 5'9", Somtam on the far shore, tempting fate. Doing a depth gauge reading. Just like, ooh, he's sailing way off the wind. Big tack. Jason over there also. As goes to close haul and stalls the boat. Kids, let's be a lesson to you. Keep the boat moving, even if it's the wrong direction. It's better moving than not moving. So Mr. Winton tries to stay up front, cover the fleet. Gary out front, 5'4" Visor, the Eviscerator. Only Viz here this week. No rich people live in California. Can't afford the Viz out here. So as Gary heads up. Kind of lost track who's in second. Gary's pretty far out there. Let's see when they go around the windward mark. Folks sailing off the wind a little bit. Looks like some different angles out there. Steve Kinsey in the 1-1 boat in third or fourth place. Gary Bowl in the 171 Britpop, exerting his port rights on the fleet. As Gary gets headed, figures out, I might as well tack if I'm getting headed. We might make it to the windward mark. It's a little low, but he's on starboard. Mr. Warren has to duck him. Gary does the pincharoo, little pincharoo, hokey pokey. Gary in the 171 boat in second. Mr. Tom Warren, 4'8" V2, crying the Seafleet blues, but See how we can go. Check back in on our leaders. Mr. Gary Winton on a Sunday sail all by himself. Mr. Boom Boom Bowl, the pole killer, 171. It's got himself into second place. Looking for the top four. Joking it up with Gary, trying to distract Mr. Winton. A little psychological warfare on land here as the skippers walk down the course.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The brakes on. Usually they're big.
Looks out. Ding, 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 ding. As, Mr. Bowl doing a friendly to the Canadian. Letting Mr. Steve Kinsey run in second place for a while. But the battle for fourth is going to be vicious since there's 2, 4, 5 boats in contention for that bump up spot. It's going to be rough. So Mr. Gary Winton comes to the inside here. I guess that's a good decision. I don't know. Beats coming in the finish line on port. Down to Mr. Bowl. Mr. Bowl got ran back. So let's see. Boats that came to the inside were 5-4, 1-1, 171, and the Yellow Lembo's boat 168 or something. A few other guys going the outside, trying to look for some gains in the 4-1 boat. Mr. Jill Somtan Jansky has some starboard boats to navigate. Leeward boats, Gary staying high and pointing with speed, hopefully. Some ports.
Protest 41.
For what?
Contact. 4A protest 41, sorry.
Circle complete.
Thank you.
I didn't see the contact.
As Mr. Winton out front, Gary and Steve cross each other. Gary administers a little starboard love for our Canadian traveler. 2 travelers battle it out. Gary from Sun Valley, Idaho. Pointing his way upwind. Mr. Steve Kinsey in the 1-1 boat. Vickers boat. Here for the finish line. Looks like Gary Winton makes it first. Sorry for this angle. Oh, Steve Kinsey in the 1-1 got spit out the back. And Bose with the Pincharoo up the middle. That's your Sea Fleet race.
It's not race 6 protest 43. You might get some roll with it, but it's maybe on the start. Yep, and most of them are.
All right, we're off for a Fleet race. I think I managed to stay in B again. Got Chris Davidson on the wall over there. Coming across. Wind getting a little softer here in the evening. As Dave in the 9-7 boat is out front. Sean Bradley and Chris Davidson battling out over there.
Protest 5-4.
Sean and Gary with a little altercation. Looks like a port starboard scenario. As Dave, the 9-7 boat out front. Chris Davidson, the 2-6 behind him. As we head upwind,
We also had contact with the first.
it's a first A fleet race.
So we rented the entire theater in honor of Pat, so we could see Top Gun 2. So Nav and Rooster jump in the F-14. Right?
Stories of
And I'm sitting near Pat. And Rooster's
Top
looking
Gun in
down
San
at
Diego.
all the switches.
Appropriate.
And fired it out. And Pat's going, well, I know where the switch is, but it ain't there.
Well,
They're missing the scope.
they're missing. That cockpit looked more like an engine. The arenas didn't
as
get all the fun stuff.
they didn't have all the engine
the boats head upwind, make it to the windward mark. Started listening to Top Gun stories instead of watching the sailing. As we race downwind, 3 fleets here today, ABC, I think 28-ish skippers racing, sailing this weekend. Sean powered up on the outside. Dave saw the sails fluttering a little bit. It's powered up and going again. It's Mr. Davidson looking for the freeway gods.
What's that? Cold water. Yeah, comes in from the bay.
As we slow parade continues downwind. Dave in the 9-7 boat first. Chris Davidson in the 2-6. Our Australian via San Diego. 4-6. Sean Bradley. I hope I'm getting his last name right. Got Larry Grant making model sailing great again on the inside here. Looking for clean air. Driving away. Larry getting some gains on this side. Got a beeline to that windward mark, or leeward mark, leeward gate. Jeez, Dan, get your sailing lingo down. Looks like Dave's gonna make it there first. Maybe Chris, Larry, Sean. Dave goes the outside, Chris goes the inside, Larry goes the inside, Sean goes the outside, Barry in the 2-7 boat, the inside, Chris Sullivan, 6'2", my Britpop brother, out there, looking to get in some clean air as we head back upwind. As the Navy pilots swap stories back there. So we got Dave 9-7 boat, Sean 4-6 working that other shore, going slow, trying to get powered up again. Mr. Davidson going fast on starboard. Now Sean's found the motor controls. Moving again, and looky who we have here, Mr. Sean Fiddler, 111 barcode special. Out there with Larry Grant, the 85 K2. K2 everywhere a year ago. Now they're been replaced with a lot of Vickers and the Viz. Something about a name with a V.
You tell me. You were supposed to tell me. When? I said 30 more minutes. You said yes. Well, that's 4 o'clock.
Arguing will continue till morale improves, but Dave sailing well this weekend at 9-7. There's Chris Steiger's head, concentrating on his 88 boat.
What do you think, Fred?
Had upwind for the second time.
I know, sometimes they're moving.
Yeah, Dan, yes, but it's not there yet. They're still moving.
I got my name on all the lists, but
You could.
Dave having to give a little extra move up there to get around the windward mark, giving a boat quarter boat length back to the fleet.
tomorrow we're going to have more service.
Is that right? And tomorrow I hire beautiful girls. They're gonna samba. Right over the
Nice.
So here's our leaders, the 9-7 boat.
Did Bill talk to these guys to stand up for winter?
Chris Davidson on the 2-6 boat.
Yeah.
I already have a seat.
Sean Bradley in the 4-6 boat. Gary Whitten, 5-4.
The samba.
Clawing his way back.
See, that's why I know it now.
Sean Fiddler in the 1-1-1.
Lots of those places.
Just waiting. Sean likes to just beat you at the end, just to
Miami, Tampa.
really crush your soul, morale. Sean's just smothering Gary right now. Says, eat my dirty air. Mr. Dennis Rogers in the 4-3 right behind there. Chris Sullivan says, I'll have none of that. I'm going to go over here by myself. I'm going to go fast. You guys slow each other down. I'll get some boat links. As 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th is anybody's ball game. Got Larry Grant in the 8-5 boat. Up above, Mr. Fiddler. Mr. Fiddler has rights. Oh, wait. Now Sean's on starboard. Larry's on port. Sean's still got the rights. Check back in on our leaders. Looks like Mr. Davidson got some. Dave turning a little quick, a little bit first. What am I trying to say? They were pretty close, pretty even to the leeward gates. Chris on starboard, high. This might be a good finish line tactic. Dave and Sean went to the outside, so definitely you're going to have to do some tacks. Chris just channeling his inner speed demon, saying, I'm going to lay the mark. Probably won't, but as we head up to finish. Freddie's already down there, so that's good. As 9-7 and the 2-6 boat battle it out. Missing the energy here. So Dave going to attack in front of Chris. Chris not going to take the bait. He's going to keep going. Dave stalls a little. Chris is powered up. Chris makes the tack, is praying for lift. Praying for lift. I don't think it's coming. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Dave's going to have to come in on port right at the mark. Chris on starboard. Ooh, Dave gets it. Close race there the whole way, Chris and Dave. The rest of the fleet as everything lightened up on us here. That's it for A Fleet. 11-minute race.